It sounded impressive at first, but that's probably not as impressive as a team.
For one person, though?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. He picked up the fucking base.
Gambo, this was your idea.
Oh, he picked up the fucking base and they had an extra one ready for this shit.
Oh, they were just on lock. They were ready.
Oh yeah, they were ready to replace it because they're like, yep, this one's going in the Hall of Fame. How this works, man.
I see. So he set a record.
Yeah, first player ever to hit 40 home runs and steal 70 bases in a season.
Damn.
Unofficial list of the players with the most Mike Breen bang calls over the last 10 seasons. Guess which player is number 1?
I don't know baseball that well.
No, basketball now.
Oh, sorry, say it again.
Unofficial list of the players with the most Mike Breen bangs over the last
Curry.
10 seasons. Yep.
Easy.
Curry with 41.
Damn.
The next closest is Klay Thompson with 28.
Take the shot, bang, tie game. I love that shit.
And then tied for third are Tatum, Durant, and LeBron with 9.
What?
And then Danny Green has 8. What the fuck?
Oh wait, I'm thinking the one I just did was the Ray Allen one in Miami.
Yeah.
That one's sick. Rebound, kicks it out to Allen in the corner, takes a shot, bang, tie game. I fucking love that one. As much as I wanted the Spurs to win that one is so good. And the slow-mo of that is iconic as well.
You're giving me Vietnam flashbacks, bro. I fucking watched that game.
Ooh, what was the... I'm gonna pull this up real quick, just this list, right? Because this actually intrigued me. So they were doing...
Hey, Ron Bernard won AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Oh, nice.
Let's fucking go. First NFL player to record 2+ sacks and interception and a fumble recovery in a game since Brian Urlacher in 2007. Holy shit, dude.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna pose this question to you, right?
Oh, sure.
It's all-time lineup for these teams, right?
Okay.
It is the Bucks versus the Spurs. Spurs has Tony Parker, George Gervin, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, Duncan Robinson. Bucks has the Big O, Oscar Robertson.
Yep, they go.
Ray Allen.
Okay.
Sidney Moncrief. Giannis. And Kareem. Who wins that?
I think the Bucks win it 7. I think it's close.
In a series, you think they win? The Bucks win in 7.
I think the Bucks win in 7. Big O is like a huge bump against Tony. I think Timmy and Duncan are just like good and or not Duncan. I think Timmy
Robinson
and Robinson are good enough defensively to like withstand a Giannis Kareem or a Giannis Kareem front court. They've got the length and the stoutness between the two of them in order to kind of contend with that. Because the admirable thing about him is that he was long enough and strong enough to contend with most people, except for like the Hakeem and Shaqs of the world.
Yeah.
He was fine otherwise.
I was like literally 1-to-1. Oscar Robertson smashes Tony Parker to me.
Yes, and then George beats Sidney.
No, he's matched up with Ray Allen.
I think George and Ray Allen's a wash. George's offense was like very sneaky underrated his entire career. So I think he'd be able to like hang, but I think Ray would run him off screens all fucking day. And then Kawhi versus Sidney is that goes Kawhi's way. So
you think it's that easy though?
I don't. I think if you're talking about like, then you start getting into like who's the 6th, 7th, and 8th man. Like, what's your 8-man rotation in that point?
Well, let's treat it like it's like a pickup game with just the 5.
I think it does come down to that. I think it's like if it's just the 5 and it's like a best of 7, like.
Because if you get a whole roster, I think the Spurs wash.
I think the Spurs probably end up washing because like the Bucks have not had incredible players outside of that starting 5. What the Spurs have had, because then you got Manu as a 6th man off the bench.
Yep.
And then you're talking about like potentially Wemby getting up there as like the 9th, 10th man. Like it's immediately one of the most talented people to walk in the door. You're talking about Avery Johnson being the backup point guard off the bench. You're talking about Sean Elliott being the backup behind Kawhi off the bench.
And I'm personally doing it like when their peak when they were there. You know, not like Kawhi in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing. Him in San Antonio is still pretty good.
Yeah, like 2014 Finals MVP Kawhi is still beating Sidney Moncrief. I think that's the weak link in their lineup for sure. Yeah, you're talking about Shauna Elliott and you're talking about a next 4 rotation of, let's see, Avery Johnson, Shauna Elliott, Bruce Bowen, and Manu. Like that's your 4, and then you just need a big man to throw out there, and that's your 5. And that could be. Fuck it. I mean, put the worm out there, man. You get him out there, have him play a little bit of 4 or 5. Pretty fucking good when he was here. Yeah. You can talk about LaMarcus being a 5.
Yep.
Because I mean, LaMarcus was pretty fucking good for a couple years there before he started getting really hurt.
True. And actually, since we're still talking basketball, let's bring it up. Biggest trade of the fucking year.
What the fuck, man? Bro. I literally, I was sitting at work, right? Just minding my own goddamn business after getting back from, getting Canes for lunch, because fuck me up some Canes today. After getting some Canes for lunch, I sit down, I pull up, open up my phone. Wash bomb. There's a reason I have watched tweets. And it's set to notify me. Wash bomb. Dame Lillard to fucking Milwaukee.
Dude, can I just say, everybody's saying it? Miami been fumbling.
Miami
bro.
fumbled the bag.
They had first dibs practically.
Goddamn hard. They had leverage on leverage. They needed to just get this shit done. And all of a sudden, here comes Milwaukee.
Bro, I feel so bad for Jimmy Butler, bro.
Dude.
He needs help. He needs help. And they could not get him one of the most crucial available options in this trade in this year. That sucks for him.
So I saw Nekias Duncan, who's like, shout out Nekias. Like, this man been grinding on the brighter beat for Miami for years. He's more of a WNBA guy. His WNBA content is really good. Most of my knowledge on that front comes from him. So shout out to home. He put out a tweet
Oh boy.
He put out a tweet. He was like, Dame, you know, South Beach or nothing. And they were like, what if we could? And he's like, then I'm gonna burn everything to the fucking ground. And then Portland's management is like, what about Giannis? And he just goes, you telling me I can play with Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Bro. Hang on a sec. So it was 3 teams, right? Because it was Portland, Milwaukee, and Phoenix. Right? And to be honest, right, I think just barely Milwaukee gets the edge in this trade purely because of Damian Lillard.
Dame's the best player in the trade, and so when you can get the best player in the trade, you win the trade by default.
But here's the thing: I watched. Shout out to another guy, Chris Smooth. He's a legendary name in terms of YouTube, 2K, and like now basketball news ish. But you know, he brought up the fact that now that they traded away Drew Holiday, their defense in the backcourt is a lot weaker now.
Yes, but
which poses a problem when you get to postseason.
Yes,
and when you have a very bipolar Chris Middleton in the way that he plays.
Yes, I completely agree. If Chris is your wing stopper, you might have some issues. It fully depends on how they plan to build out the back half of that rotation.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a guy who is a defensive-minded point guard that can come in and either play alongside Dame or in place of Dame for, you know, the minutes that Dame is on the court, then they're gonna score points. That's the thing. I'm not worried about them scoring points. If you've got Dame motherfucking Lillard roaming the 3-point line, 10 feet past the 3-point line, and then you've got the truck that is Giannis Antetokounmpo getting the ball and going down fucking hill at you, despite the fact that you put 3 guys in front of the rim, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You can't guard that.
Like, yeah, legit. Offensively, they are set pretty much.
The shots that Drew Holiday, who is not a bad player or a bad shooter by any means, was getting are now Dame motherfucking Lillard taking those shots. This man gonna drop 50 on your head.
I never thought I would see Lillard in green. I'm not gonna lie. Like, never.
Dude.
See, now...
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that first like clutch game where Giannis like Dame hits the shot and Giannis is just over there. Game time! Game time!
With his accent too, just like Dame time, Dame time.
Yeah.
The offense.
Get up to the podium afterwards and just go. Dame time.
Dude, that duo is going to be crazy. Like, you just already know that. The thing is now, I kind of don't care as much about the other trades, to be honest. Like, not within this big one. But now I'm just thinking, like, the way the East looks now, it's like Milwaukee, Celtics, and maybe the Heat, right? I can't really think of anybody else making a solid run for the championship.
I think the top 4 have not changed. I think it's still Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and the Heat.
Yeah, Philly, my bad. I forget about that.
I think it's still
Mickey
those top
ass
4.
MVP dude and Embiid. I forget about him.
Oh man, we could talk about the MVP on end, bro.
But like those 4,
it's probably still those 4, and then you're talking about who are the dark horses, right? You're talking about a Cleveland. You're talking about a New York, maybe. You're talking about. You're definitely not talking about Brooklyn. Orlando?
See, maybe
they might be ready to take the lead. Paolo's legit, bro. Paolo is fucking legit. So if he takes a year 1 to year 2 lead, and they sneak their way into home court advantage in the playoffs somehow, then we're talking like, this Orlando team is weird, and they're deep, and they like playing with each other. Well coached. They could very easily.
No. Here's the thing. Do you take them over Atlanta with Trae Young?
Fuck
Okay.
I don't trust Atlanta.
Okay.
I don't trust. I like Trey can walk out average 30 and drop and on everybody's heads and it's fine. The man can't guard a fucking standing door. And he's the problem in that locker room. Every coach that's gone through there leaves. Who's the common denominator between all of those coaches? It's fucking Trey Young. And so if he walks out, proves all the haters wrong, then great. But he's got to be like the undisputed leader of that team, still defer to the coach when he has to, and be able to play a lick of defense in order to lead that team to do anything.
That's what Curry had to do.
Exactly. Curry wasn't a good defender. Curry wasn't healthy. You know what he did? He
shot the roof out of every building.
Well, that too. He got healthy. He figured out how his body worked. He figured out how to maintain his body over the course of a full season. He shot the fucking the leather off the ball. And he tried on defense. Curry is not small. Curry is not, 5'11" on a good day. Curry is 6'4". He is not a tiny human being like Trey is. And so, and I said this when Trey was coming out of Oklahoma. Like, we can go back and rehash all this shit. Trey's our trademark, he's 35 feet from the hoop when he shoots. Great, he picked that up from Curry, but he's not Curry. He never was going to be. He doesn't have the intangible leadership qualities that Curry has. He doesn't have the humility that Curry has. He doesn't have the build that Curry has that allows Curry to be even a middling defender.
The thing is, a lot of that
Curry
leadership stuff has to come in with time, because
but
we're talking still needed
Trey's been in the league for 5 years now, man.
He has, but then when you have somebody like Steve Kerr who's willing to build around your talent, and then it's different because Curry does have that mindset more than Trey does to still learn, be a student of the game, and grow alongside the coach. That's what you were saying earlier with Curry still deferred to his coach with more experience, more insight on how he can grow as a player, which Trey still has not done.
And part of that, Curry learned a lot from Mark Jackson. We don't give Mark Jackson enough credit for the bones of that team. It was just Kerr that came in and was he put the exact things that he needed. He tweaked it just a little bit. Yeah. He let Draymond have a chance.
Yeah.
He encouraged one of the greatest shooters of all time, funny enough, encouraged Curry and Clay to shoot more. There were small things that Kerr had to do in order to get them to bring out their full potential, and then a lot of it's just game management, and there's some X's and O's stuff that we could get into that Kerr's really good at, but yada yada yada. Mark deserves some credit. He's a little off the deep end now, but he deserves some credit. Trey hasn't had that yet because he gets in fights with every one of his coaches.
Yep.
And it's really funny because Trey and Luka are tied at the hip, right? Because of the trade. It's been 5 years. They got drafted in 2018. And what have they done? They've got a Western Conference Finals and an Eastern Conference Finals on their resumes. That's it.
All-star game and human highlights. That's kind of it.
Pretty much. There's no accolades. Yeah, Luka won Rookie of the Year, right? I'm not crazy. That's about it.
Yeah.
Luka made All-NBA. I think Trey made All-NBA one time. Luka's made All-NBA twice, 3 times.
I thought he wasn't. Damn it, dude.
Huh.
I thought he wasn't. My bad. I got distracted. Yeah. I would say that technically they haven't done a lot, but as far as their fame, and influence on how to see the game, especially Luka, because the way that he plays, every other player sees it and is what the hell is this kid? You know what I mean?
Let's talk about this for a second. Luka has made one rookie of the year, all rookie team, all NBA first team, all NBA first team, all NBA first team, all NBA first team. The man's fucking cracked, but there's no like he's finished, you know, top 5 MVP voting twice, and then he let's see, top 5 in scoring twice. You know, there's some other stuff that's in here. All-Star games.
Think about it though. A lot of times he doesn't get MVP, or that he doesn't like or like the Mavericks don't win, is really because they don't have anyone there
around him. And like he is elevating them as much as he can, but he's basically just a James Harden 2.0, and like we know that doesn't work, which is why they've gone and gotten Chris Down.
When in the last
they've just been taking these swings trying to get him a sidekick.
When in the last like 20 years of modern basketball have you seen anybody single-handedly carry a team all the way to championship? And you cannot tell me either that like in 2022 Curry carried the Warriors. It was still the Warriors, dude. Like in this era of basketball, like, it is practically impossible for one superstar to carry an entire team. Even Giannis didn't do that.
No, and Giannis is like 3. Like Chris, Drew, and Giannis as a trio was pretty fucking good. And then you've got Brook Lopez roaming around back there as the 4th guy. Like
think of Denver for last year, bro. You already had Murray and Jokic. That's it. Crazy. But then
you're talking about
Aaron Gordon actually play out of his mind. Michael Porter play out of his mind.
Like Michael Porter couldn't hit the broadside of a fucking barn, but he's doing all the small things that you need.
What was his name from the Nets? They got him over there, Brown, right?
Yeah,
he
Brown
was bodying everybody on defense. Like, and I get it because they were kind of in like a flow mode. Like we're in the finals, we gotta play for real. But it's like, yes, they're all pros, especially. But it's the fact that the ones that end up winning, they don't wait around to like get to that point to then start playing for real. They just play for real, like the whole time. And nobody's helping them out in Atlanta, in Dallas, in Orlando. I kind of have a feeling it won't really happen in San Antonio this coming year. Phoenix, that was why, you know, Aiden fell through the floor and Paul couldn't really do anything about it. That's why Booker's kind of just stranded in Phoenix, low-key. They keep bringing people, Phoenix, but then they just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, like Phoenix.
They maybe play for a year and then they just kind of.
Yeah, Phoenix this year. So that was going back to the James trade, right? Phoenix this year traded Ayton in order to get depth. And so they're not great players by any means, but you're talking about giving up. You're talking about like basically liquidating Ayton and his money into 4 guys that could conceivably get minutes this year in the regular rotation. Fair. And so they've got their superstars, but you're talking about 3 guys who like one of them done something. One championship as far as the Warriors guys. Yeah. I like that doesn't take away anything from the quality player that KD is. KD was the best player on those 2 finals teams. Yeah. The reason that they lost in 2019, the reason why he even has a second ring, is because KD blew his fucking Achilles out. Yeah. So, like, even if it's just KD that's healthy in that series, the Warriors probably still win that series. But there's so many teams, like, you can't single-handedly lead a team. It hasn't happened ever.
See, now when I think about the shape of the league, and I think about where the
you go back and it's like, when was the last time one single-handed play, or like one player single-handedly carried a team? And you're probably talking about Will.
Yeah. Well, wait, what about you don't think no, Kareem in LA had Magic, right?
Yep.
Steve, shut up, bro. That is true. That is true.
You're going all the way back, and like if you want to get to like Kareem in the 70s, you can't even really do that. You know why? Because Big O was right there with him.
But now I think about the shape of the current league, and I'm like, where all the power is. Like a couple years ago, I think I was like, this is the most even the league has ever looked. And now I'm thinking it's a little bit back skewed to the West again. Because like we just mentioned the 4 in the East that are like kind of the same, making the biggest run for it. And the dark horses, they really are like a hit or miss. They're either gonna do really well or they're not gonna do anything in the East. In the West, you know, LA is still up there. Freaking Denver's still up there.
You've got Phoenix, LA, Denver, obviously. You've got
Phoenix, LA, Denver, Golden State.
Golden State, and that's your top 4 right there. You've got Sacramento, who's still young and fun and able to run with anybody and score on anybody. You're talking about Oklahoma City, who has one of the 5 best players in the fucking league right now.
Yeah.
Jay is the real fucking deal, and if we don't admit that, we're gonna get got when Oklahoma City is a top 3 seed this year because he's the reason. So that's your 6 right there. Who else could like sneak in there?
They do have Wemby, so.
No. Listen. Here's the thing. As a Spurs lifer, I will never click the Spurs. As a Spurs lifer, the only goal that should be the only goal that we should have for this season is getting a mostly healthy full season out of Wemby and internal development. Obviously, don't bottom out again. We don't want to win 20 games again this year. You want to give the fans something to like cheer for. You want to see some improvement out of everybody else.
So they don't sell out every game, I swear.
You're talking about, I mean, Trey is like a functioning point guard, probably better served as a backup, but like he's a functioning starting guard. You're talking about Devin Vassell taking a leap, who was actively taking a leap last year. You're talking about Keldon Johnson being like a solid small forward, probably still better as a bench guy, but like he's a solid dude, gonna get you buckets, gonna do some nitty gritty stuff. Like he's gonna play his ass off. You're talking about Jeremy Sohan, who is probably like the most talented guy on that team besides Wemby, and he works his fucking ass off. Like love Jeremy. Love the fact that the Spurs got Jeremy. I love that they get to root for the dude for the next 6 years of my life. Next probably 9 years of my life at least, and hopefully he stays in San Antonio. And then you're talking about Wemby, and like just that 5. If you don't, and even if we don't finish with that 5, some games, if they want to ease Wemby in and have somebody like what's his name? 10-foot dude, perpetually injured, actually had a good season last year with us.
I don't know.
Gonna bother me a second.
See, now I'm actually looking at the
Zach Collins. Like Zach Collins legitimately had like a good season last year. You're talking about wily vets like Reggie Bullock, who's still on the team, and Jenny Osmond, who's like a solid like rotational wing dude. There should be relative improvement from last year. It's not hard to be better than 20 wins. There's a lot of talent on this team, but there shouldn't be, let's gun for, like, there's a reason we didn't trade for Dame. You know, we had all the pieces. We had plenty of picks. We could have absolutely made a godfather offer to Portland that they couldn't have refused. There's a reason we weren't making those offers. We're not going for the whole shebang this year. Year 3, year 4, the Wemby experience, that's a little different. We're going to be talking about, okay, you know, has he made the leap? Is he like a really good offensive player? He's going to be a solid defensive player from the jump. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a defensive monster because he's 7'4". And he affects every shot that's around him. That's within 10 feet of him.
Yeah.
He affects every shot. So if you got half the fucking arc that he is affecting, that should make your defense better.
I sure would hope so. Like,
I would hope so, right? So their defense is going to be better. Their offense should, in theory, be like, to average.
I want there to be a moment that's like straight out of like an anime, like out of Kuroko. It's like, okay, here's the play we drew up. I'll pull up for my shot. And he shoots it, and then it's like all of a sudden this hand just comes out of nowhere. Just what? Impossible. It's like, I thought you knew who I was.
Thought?
But here's the thing, right? I'm looking at the list again, and I'm looking at the draft list. These aren't necessarily saying that they're going to make a huge run. These are people that we could probably look out for in the coming years, right? The Hornets did pick up Brandon Miller.
I feel about Brandon Miller.
Controversy aside, getting him down there is pretty decent.
To be honest, I don't know how I feel about Charlotte.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like, it's a weird area over there because I don't like.
It's a weird team.
It's a weird team. I don't like LaMelo. There's controversy around him.
LaMelo wasn't healthy.
There's a lot going on over there. I know, but I'm just saying, in a couple of years, they could make some trades. Like that could be interesting. Portland, they just did their whole trade thing. I know Scoot is.
They're not gonna keep Drew.
Yeah, I know Scoot is injured. Scoot Henderson.
But Scoot was injured for part of Summer League. But
yeah.
The dude's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
So expect the pillars of their team going forward to be Scoot and Ayton. They're probably gonna trade Drew. To try and get, because in theory, or when you look at the totality of the damn trade, they only got Drew, Ayton, and 3 picks. The rights to 3 picks. It's 2 pick swaps and an unprotected first round from Milwaukee. Yeah. Out to 2029. So that's a pretty good package for Dame. Because what's going to happen now is, Ayton's going to stay, and they're going to flip Drew into more picks, another young player or 2, and then now you're talking. Now you're talking about guys that are probably going to be in your rotation this year that you can help build along with. So, fully expect Drew to get traded.
I'm going to at least go top 20 in this list. So yeah, the next one were the Twins, the Thompson Twins. And one went to the Rockets, one went to the Pistons. I'm just saying, I feel bad because I don't know, what's the dude? There's a dude in Detroit, Cunningham, that's his name. He's still there. He's a baller. And then Asar Thompson's with them. That's a pretty sick combo. If they play together for a couple of years, that could be nasty.
Detroit has all the pieces. They've got the most really big.
And like you were saying before, the Magic have pieces. They just got Anthony Black as well.
Who's gonna be a fucking gunner for them, bro?
They traded them. The Wizards got. Wait.
The Wizards got this French dude that played with Limpy. Wizards
draft Jarris Walker, but he got traded to the Pacers. Okay. Now this is the one I really want to highlight on. So the Jazz both got Taylor Hendricks and Keontae George.
And somebody else in the other round.
Like,
they had 3 first-round draft picks this year.
Who was the other one for Utah?
It was like late round.
Late round 1?
Yeah, for sure. Or like early round 2.
The Jazz. Taylor Hendricks was 9. Then George was 16. And then Bryce Sensabaugh from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He was 28. Bro, the Jazz, it's crazy how they didn't win when they had, they didn't have Donovan, they had Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. They had I know it's kind of weird. Joe Ingles, he was kind of putting in work with his shooting. They have Jay Crowder at one point. I don't remember. They had
a solid cast, and they honestly should have gone farther. For a couple of years there, but they ran into buzzsaws,
Dude, Utah, and I'm mainly saying this just because I love Keontae so much. They are low-key a sleeper, and it's actually ridiculous the potential they have.
They were ridiculously good last year for what they did. They traded the whole fucking farm and still ended up with a top 10 pick. But like they were legitimately giving people grief. They were playing people off the court.
But their potential is ridiculous.
Yes, they have a ton of young talent. They have a lot of pieces that make sense together. But it's just we gotta see it.
Yeah.
And personally, like, yes, we're Baylor boys. We love Key. We loved Key when he was here. And
that
like
boy
him, Keontae Judge. He might be. He could legitimately be the steal of the draft depending on how he develops.
I was so surprised he dropped that low. I was so surprised.
Well, he had a horrible Big 12, man. That's what happened. And like he just got ripped with a fucking buzzsaw in the Big 12. Couldn't shoot the ball. He couldn't shoot the broadside of the bar for several games there. And then he got benched at the end of certain games too. Like it was kind of it's a bad Big 12. He ripped everybody to shreds the first half.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was bad Big 12, sure, but they all were still talking about his potential leading up into the draft, like into the combine. Then he killed the combine, and I know like maybe a lot of people didn't watch the combine, but even if you didn't, you could see the potential in this guy. And even the draft board was like, this dude is the top pick available. Why has he dropped like 5 slots and then he ended up with Utah? Bro, I'm telling you, I want them to do so well this year. I know that's like really hopeful, really optimistic, but I want them to do like pretty well this year. But in all encompassing everything, I still think Milwaukee has the best chance of winning.
Milwaukee is absolutely the championship favorite now.
Yeah.
Even with Denver, like Denver lost pieces. Like
whoever comes out the West is gonna be beat up. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet. Like we didn't talk about the Clippers.
Yeah, but
if they're healthy, they're always a theoretical team. But like you gotta bring them up because if they're healthy, they got 2 guys that could be top 10 players in the league. Like that's something that we have to talk about.
And I want them to. They just never are. They never are healthy.
I want them to be a fully realized version of themselves one fucking time before Kawhi and Paul end up splitting because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just one time. God damn it.
Milwaukee's definitely the favorite. Whoever comes out the West is gonna be like, they're probably gonna be put through the ringer with whoever it is. I think the most likely to come out the West is probably
Still Denver.
Yeah, it's probably still Denver. I go with LA second.
Jokic is going to Milwaukee's way. Several of these teams.
I'd go with LA second. Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers have the perfect cast around LeBron and AD, and it is truly just can LeBron at 41 fucking years old and AD at 33. Yeah,
it's crazy that he's 33. I'm still remembering the days when he started out in New Orleans, bro.
Anthony Davis, he is, he's 30. This man looks and plays like he's like in his mid-30s. Anyways.
Oh, shout out to 2 guys now. Zion, I know he went through a whole little scandal thingy looking thing. I hope he's healthy coming up in this year. I want to go to one of those games actually. And then Anthony Edwards,
bro,
fucking baller.
Ant's legit, man,
dude.
Like,
he's in Minnesota, right?
Yes, you know the Pelicans and the T-Wolves in there. You're talking about 9 teams, man. There's not enough seats at the table.
And this is why. That's the only reason why they're changing the structure. Wait, they announced a tournament, didn't they?
So they have a mid-season tournament. They also have the play. But like, there's gonna be legitimately really good teams that are the 7 and 8 seed in the tournament, and then you're talking about like the 9-10 are gonna be fucking dogs too. Like they're gonna be hard outs. I think that's like the ceiling for them as a team right now, because like they should absolutely just be focusing on getting healthy, getting right, or not getting healthy, but staying healthy across the board, getting some internal development, kind of coalescing as a team, and then fucking tank the 10th place game and just go and get you a fucking top 10 pick and hope to God that you can pull another like solid role player.
See, that sounds like a 20-30 win season to me.
It's like no, because like to get to the 10 seed of the play-in, you're talking like 34, 35 wins, which I think is completely conceivable. And then you're you tank that last game, and get you a draft pick that's in the like 10 to 12 range probably, depending on how stuff shakes out of the lottery. And you draft a guy that is like you're swinging. You might not be swinging for the fences, but you're taking somebody who's gonna fit around Wemby. And then you're going for it the next year. You're talking like, where's the leap from Wemby? Can we talk about potentially getting like secure, like not playing like in the play-in or the playoffs? You're talking like a 6 seed, maybe a 5 seed.
Maybe you bring his old teammate back.
Maybe.
Could be a move.
Could be. You're talking about like that type of season in his second year, and in his third and fourth year, you're talking about home court advantage in the playoffs should be expected. If he's the caliber of talent that we think he is, that's what we should be expecting.
They're like, they literally said he's the new. He's like, what did they say?
Best prospect since LeBron.
Best since LeBron, but they were giving him like a mega title. They were like, the new age of basketball, or like, some like huge out of proportion shit. And I'm just like, don't do that.
Some random hyperbole, but yeah, man. I have a lot of hope for this season, but I just want to see them like. I just want to see him grow first. I want to see him stay healthy and grow first.
And honestly, I might not now have to get like either NBA TV or like cable or whatever, just so I can watch all this stuff. Because I haven't watched a lot of the seasons recently, not in full. Like I always came around during playoff season.
Mm-hmm.
Now I kind of want to watch more of the whole season.
Bro, I mean, if you want to sit down and start watching games and talking about shit, I'm down.